Ken Deeks here, and we're studying the Bible book by book. I'm very excited about this brand new series in the Messianic Psalms. We're going to explore 6 Psalms. In this series, we're going to examine them in depth, and we'll be noting especially the sense in which each of these Psalms is a Messianic Psalm. Let me begin by just making a few introductory comments on what we actually mean when we talk about a messianic psalm. So the word messianic, of course, is related to the word Messiah. Messiah simply means an anointed one. Pardon the handwriting. An anointed one. And when we get to the New Testament, the equivalent word there is Christ. So Messiah and Christ are the same word, meaning the same thing, namely anointed one. So Christ is not our Lord's second name. It's a title, it's a designation. He is Jesus Messiah, Jesus the Christ. Now, what is it actually that makes these psalms messianic psalms? Well, there's 2 things really. So first, let's just take a psalm that represents one of our 6 psalms. So it's a messianic psalm because there's something in that psalm which points to Christ. It's a prophetic notion or indication, something. So it's moving from the psalm to Christ. But the second thing that can make a psalm messianic is when there's a New Testament writer who reads back into a psalm or sees in that psalm some allusion to the Messiah. And so there are aspects of that psalm that are reinterpreted so as to be messianic. Now, we're going to look at 6 psalms in this series, and excited about that. So we'll be looking at Psalm 40, the Messiah's incarnation, his coming into the world. In Psalm 22, we'll see Messiah's crucifixion, his giving of himself in sacrifice. And then in Psalm 16, Messiah's resurrection. And notice how as we move down, we are working through some of the significant saving acts of our Lord. In Psalm 16, we'll be looking at the ascension. And then Psalms 110 and 102, we're really looking at our Lord's ongoing ministry in heaven at the right hand of the Father in his ascended state. His ministry as a priest, and then his reign or his ministry as a king. So I'm very excited to get into this and start exploring these psalms, beginning with Psalm 40. So I hope that you'll join us as we work our way through the Messianic Psalms as we study the Bible book by book.